Welcome troopers, today we're going to be doing another YouTube video. So, this is my second Transformers review, and today's figure is Studio Series Bumblebee movie Shockwave. So, this is 110 in the Studio Series line, the main line for Studio Series. So, I'm going to get into the figure, transform it, and then get into that. So, let's start off the figure. Alright, so Soundwave looks really good in this form. I really love the design. It's overall really good to look at. But I do have a couple problems. Now, let's actually get this a bit more. There we go. Now, the articulation is okay. However, if you could see this here, there isn't anything you could really do up here. Most figures, I'm going to actually pause this real quick. Okay, so we're going to be using Ratchet here for A, scaling, and B, to show you what the problem is. Now, looking at this guy, you may not see much wrong with the articulation. However, there's a big problem that you might see if you have it in hand. Now, notice how this Ratchet can swivel his arms like that, but the Shockwave can't from the upper arm. He could only do it from the lower arm, which means he can only bend it at the elbow like that. He can't cross his arms, which is a big problem for posing. So, especially with that big cannon. And also, I feel like this like extra stuff going on there kind of makes it awkward to kind of point his cannon, because that just does not look really good at all. When you look at it, it's like he's pointing it slightly down constantly, which just doesn't look right to me. I mean, you can do it like this, which looks much better, but it can be limiting if you want to pose him. So yeah, that's just a pretty small nitpick. He's a good figure overall. This is also the scaling. The height I'm not sure about, but he's pretty tall in comparison to Ratchet. This version of Ratchet right here, which is a Voyager class as well. So the height difference is pretty good. He's almost as tall as my leader class Bumblebee movie Megatron. So that's pretty good for scaling, at least. So let's actually put this guy away. Now, overall, pretty good figure. The cannon is detachable. Just so y'all know, there's a cord attaching his cannon to the rest of his body. So that's pretty nice. So let's talk about articulation again. So for his articulation, the arms, you can move that pretty much all the way around like that. And the aforementioned elbow, bending at the elbow. You could do the same thing with the other side. Also, there is a hand here that you can pull out. So if you don't want the cannon on, you could just have two hands. But for this video, I'm going to have the cannon on his arm. So yeah. Anyway, that's pretty nice looking. And obviously the head can go. So you can turn that 360 degrees. Not too much stopping it from doing that. You could also swivel at the waist like that. You can move the legs out like that. That's actually a part of the transformation, so that's what helps that. You can also do both legs like that. You can make it go like that. And you could also bend it at the knee. And there's also a slight swivel with the leg, or the feet, I meant. You can also do the feet like that, because, yeah. You could also do it slightly forward. You can see that it's kind of doesn't go far forward, but does go forward a little bit. So, now, we got to get into the transformation. This is a really easy transformation. Oopsies, if I don't drop it. So we're going to get to the floor here. So we're going to start the legs for this. Now, for this, you have to see these little things right here? You got to tab them out like that, and then just swivel them to where like the tread, or the wheels are visible. You got to do that on both sides, like that, and then you got to move the feet in like that. Do the same with the other side. And then what you gotta do is, you gotta splay his arms out. Well, you don't have to. And then what you gotta do is, you gotta do it like, you gotta kind of make them do a split, and then do that. So you gotta kind of bend it right there, like that. I'll do the same with the other side. Like that. And then, what you gotta do, this is based on me. This is what I do. Now, for the arms, you gotta do this, and then put them in there. It should tab in. You gotta put the arm in, so that's what you do there. And then what you do is, you see this tab right here? You gotta put that in there. Gotta make sure you're careful, because you don't want to do it wrong. Well, you can't physically do it wrong. Anyway, we just take the cannon off and then move it like that. It's gonna fall probably, but it's fine. Then you do the same thing with that side. After that, you just gotta lift this up here and then kind of make it go like that. There's a couple of tabs on the legs here that you should be able to put them into, or put this part of the chest into, and then you gotta put these together because there's little holes and then there's pegs, and then that's it pretty much. Then you gotta put down the head and then fold it in like that to where it looks like that. You gotta go with the cannon, kind of force it like to be like this, so a bit longer, and then you gotta get this like that, and then put the cannon on. You're pretty much finished, but you do got to get the bottom part too. This part you can just fold like this, and then boom, you got your Soundwave's tank form. Now this is a really this is an okay tank form. It's kind of ugly just looking at it. It can kind of move. It does have wheels. However, I'm not sure if this is specific to my copy, but mine just doesn't really, the front wheels don't roll. You could hear the back wheels rolling, but the front wheels don't really roll. Also, it just does not. It's a Cybertronian tank design, so it's not expected to be highly, like, it's not supposed to look like an Earth tank. So yeah, but it looks okay for what it is. It's a Cybertronian tank. What are you gonna do, honestly? And the robot form looks good. So I do recommend this figure if you could find them for retail price. That retail price is the Voyager class retail price, which is $35. So yeah, pretty good. I got them a few months ago. This was actually my first ever Transformers figure in a while. This figure was along with my Wheeljack, my Rise of the Beast Wheeljack, who is in a current condition where I can't really review him, so unfortunately. Anyway, this is a pretty nice tank form overall. For a Cybertronian tank, for like an actual tank, no, it does not look that good. It just doesn't feel right to me. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the figure overall. So I'm going to retransform him. It's a pretty fast process when you're not telling other people how to do it. So yeah, as you can tell, like I said, it's really fast if you get used to it. It's one of the easiest transformations I think a Voyager class has been in a while. Ratchet's transformation is like 10 times more annoying to get down, which is the thing. I like this figure. I could probably figure out how to transform without instructions. Ratchet took me a little bit of the instructions. It didn't take me all the instructions. I got it in with only seeing 2 steps. So yeah. All right, there. He is transformed back to his robot mode. Now we're gonna show you the backdrop. If I can move up the camera. Now, this backdrop is the Cybertronian, or Cybertron backdrop. Let me just take it out, because I have it in a box right now, so. This is what it looks like. It's pretty nice overall. I like it. So, this is what he looks like, kind of on it. And this is what the backdrop looks like. It's got a little bridge right there. You got a couple of towers, and then you got some boxes and bins. That's supposed to be like a battle scene. So, yeah, it's a pretty nice figure. Like I said, I would recommend buying this if you did see it for retail price. However, I don't recommend. This is not worth more than $40 in my opinion. The only accessory with this guy is technically the cannon, and that barely counts. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Bye guys.